Everything explained in this video is summarized from the CoinMarketCap. And also, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for future XRP news and some other cryptocurrency news in general. Now take a look at this. XSE Lawyer says XRP Army should be agnostic on Ripple. Here's why. Before we move further, there is a new crypto airdrop now taking place, which is about to launch anytime soon. Please make sure you participate in the airdrop and link in the description of the video. Don't miss out on this. Let's continue with our video. An important judgment must be made by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission about the lawsuit it is pursuing against Ripple Labs. In July 2023, Judge Annalisa Torres issued a verdict that determined that only a portion of Ripple's XRP sales violated securities regulations. The Securities and Exchange Commission must decide by October 7, 2024, whether or not to appeal this ruling. This latest development was brought to the attention of X by Eleanor Tourette, a journalist for Fox Business, who published an insightful report regarding the circumstances underlying the case. The verdict that was handed down on July 13, 2023, poses a challenge to the regulatory posture that the SEC has taken regarding digital assets. It has enormous consequences for the cryptocurrency sector as a whole. There's a high probability that an appeal would be filed, according to former SEC officials and legal experts. Nevertheless, the regulator has not made any public moves that hint at an appeal. Ripple's programmatic sales to regular investors did not constitute unregistered securities transactions. According to the decision that Judge Torres made in July 2023, however, Ripple's institutional sales of XRP did constitute such transactions. This decision has been met with both praise and criticism from those working in the legal and financial institutions. In her paper, Tarrant makes the observation that the ruling weakens standard disclosure rules that are fundamental to the United States securities law. This is even though it was a significant success for Ripple and the XRP community. There are implications for both the SEC and Ripple's position. The SEC's regulatory jurisdiction over the Bitcoin market might be strengthened through the use of an appeal. As observed by Mark Powers, a former attorney for the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC, the agency may be required to contest the verdict to avoid establishing a precedent that may potentially limit its enforcement capabilities. In the past, the Securities and Exchange Commission has attempted to file an interlocutory appeal. But once the final judgment has been rendered, it is still in a position to contest the finding. As a result of Ripple's institutional sales of XRP, the company has been subject to penalties, including a fine of $125 million. Ripple has recently submitted a request to have this punishment postponed, which may indicate that the company is making preparations for a protracted legal struggle. The distinction between institutional and retail transactions is an essential component of Judge Torres' decision. Nevertheless, if an appeal were to challenge this distinction, it would completely undermine the clarity of XRP for the market. Professional opinions, a variety of perspectives on the next actions that the SEC should take have been expressed by legal experts and former SEC officials. To keep the regulatory process consistent, others think that an appeal is necessary. In contrast, many argue that the Securities and Exchange Commission ought to concentrate its attention on cases that have larger consequences, such as those that involve big cryptocurrency exchanges like Coinbase and Binance. These cases have the potential to address the issue of secondary market sales and the compliance of those sales with securities regulations in a more direct manner. The regulatory picture for digital assets could be clarified through the use of an appeal in the Ripple case. However, with a limited budget, the Securities and Exchange Commission may have trouble maintaining numerous extended legal battles concurrently. When the deadline for the Securities and Exchange Commission to appeal the verdict in the Ripple case from July 2023 approaches on October 7, investors of XRP are eagerly monitoring the next step that the agency will make. The verdict, which concluded that secondary sales of XRP are not securities, was a huge victory for Ripple in the court of law. However, other specialists warn that a change could occur shortly. The distinction that Judge Torres made between institutional and programmatic sales of XRP has been met with opposition, most notably being dismissed by Judge Rakoff in another instance. Although Ripple continues to regard the verdict as a step in the right direction toward achieving legal clarity for the token, veterans of the Securities and Exchange Commission, such as Mark Fagel, say that holders of XRP should take a more neutral approach. The relationship between cryptocurrency holders in Ripple. Mark Fagel, a former regional director of the Securities and Exchange Commission, stated in a tweet that has since been removed that the finding of the court suggests that reasonable XRP investors do not rely on Ripple for their investing decisions. As far as Fagel is concerned, the outcome of Ripple's legal challenges should not have a substantial impact on the perspective of the community. He expressed his surprise at the level of enthusiasm displayed by the community, even though the court had decided that the typical token holder did not rely on Ripple for the expansion of the XRP price. By this line of reasoning, he asserted that token holders ought to be entirely indifferent regarding the future of Ripple cryptocurrency. It is important to note that Crypto Airy, another significant voice in the community, has advised the community not to rely on Ripple for the growth of XRP. This viewpoint is essential for the XRP community because the prolonged lawsuit frequently affects the price of the digital asset as well as the sentiment of the market. Numerous individuals think that the genuine value of XRP resides in its practical uses and the adoption of it by enterprises, notwithstanding the continued regulatory uncertainty. Regardless of the legal challenges that Ripple is facing, these variables might continue to be steady. Will the SEC file an appeal against the decision? There is still a lack of consensus within the cryptocurrency market over whether or not the SEC would try to appeal the ruling as the deadline draws near. The Securities and Exchange Commission is expected to seek additional clarity on the contradictions in the court's approach, according to some analysts. Others, such as Lisa Littman, who served as the former chief of the SEC division, think that the agency might decide not to appeal, so preventing the case from becoming more significant. But a large number of legal experts, including Fagel, think that the SEC will submit an appeal at the very last minute. However, these experts are confident, even though the regulator has not made any public pronouncements or taken any actions. This last-minute appeal might also result in a loss of 21 for the digital asset, according to notable cryptocurrency analysts who had anticipated the outcome. The Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States is currently in a precarious scenario as it deliberates over whether or not to appeal a landmark verdict in the Ripple case by the deadline of October 7, according to Fox Business. Any SEC appeal is anticipated in the XRPC case. The decision, which was handed down by United States District Judge Annalisa Torres in July 2023, concluded that only a partial fraction of Ripple's XRP token sales violated federal securities laws. This decision caused disagreement within the legal world. Ripple and the cryptocurrency sector as a whole, which has been arguing for a long time that digital assets should not be categorized as securities, won a huge victory with the verdict. The information that has been provided is not intended to be trading advice. There is no responsibility for any investments that are made based on the information that is provided on this page. Before making any decision about investments, we strongly advise conducting independent research and consulting with a knowledgeable professional.